Mike, she's in a shot. She's right next to Tony's face.
Is it okay? Okay,
It's
we're
a
gonna have to
little-
move you one more. Come here.
Which one am I in now?
Okay, you're coming over here.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
So welcome to the Tony Pomps podcast. Tonight we are live at Babalu Restaurant in Palm Desert, California. Welcome. Anyway, I think tonight what we're going to do, we're going to start with current events. Christy, Ruthie,
Hello. Hi,
Welcome.
everybody.
let's get
Hi.
Christy in the picture.
There I
here.
am. Right
There
there.
you are.
Hi. How is
All right.
everybody doing? Yes, I wanted to say this month is the Coachella concert. Everybody knows about the Coachella concert. And that's on the weekend of 12, 14, and 19 to the 21st. And that's in India at the Empire Polo Club. I think a lot of people have been
Yeah,
there.
we have a lot of people
on
in
there.
town.
And the stagecoach, real quick, and the stagecoach is from April 26th to 28th, which is the music festival over there. And they have a lot of different people like Clint Black and Jelly Roll and Nickelback and Pam Tillis, Luke Grimes from, from Yellowstone. It's going to be singing over there. So Willie Nelson. We have a lot of different people going to be singing over there also. And also I wanted to mention that Babalu's over here. We have on Wednesday nights, we have Bob Schuster with the
Last Minute Men.
Last
Minute
Minute
Men,
Man.
yeah.
And he's going to be here Friday also. And that's from 6:30 to 9:30. And then Jeff Cantor, who's going to be, he's the DJ of Dust DJ.
Gold
So
Dust.
it's a Gold Dust. So he's going to party on Thursday night also. And then Saturday, we have Trixie Off the Cuff. So she's fun dancing, a lot of fun on that. So we have those things going on. And also I have to mention about Maximo Macuso, who is going to be at Chef George's and Sunday night. And that's going to be on the 14th over there. So we're going to have him there at Chef George's. Contact them for reservations. He'll be on at 7. Dinner is at 6. And then he's also, Maximo Marcuso is going to be at the Coachella Valley repertory place.
Good,
He'll
good
be
list.
there too. So contact them. It's going to be exciting everywhere you go in the town here. And also there's a music series over there at the river this Saturday, April 13th, Tony. They have
job.
a 9-piece band and it's all Motown.
Really?
So it's going to be interesting. That's one place that I like to go. It's somewhere over there.
We
and
gotta
everything.
do that.
Something different, something different. But I think we got all set for the Coachella. We got all set with over here, Babalu's, what's going on in Babalu's and Maximo. We got a lot of things going on, but we got a lot of good guests tonight too.
Looks like you've done your homework. You know
Yes.
what? The other night I was watching the CMT Awards, and I really didn't know this guy Jelly Roll,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got a glimpse of him, and I was thinking about it. I'm Italian. I figured, hey, look at, I could, get a bunch of fake tattoos and put them on my face and gain about 100 pounds. I call myself Italian pizza roll or something like that. I thought, that would be good. Stromboli, yeah. Really good guy though. He seemed like he had some issues apparently when he was young, and he got himself turned around.
Well, they have like 70 people singing over there, and that, and as well as the regular Coachella and everything. But this is a fun month.
Well, this is where we all get started here in the desert.
Yeah.
Traffic's going to increase. Like today was 90 degrees, right?
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. Beautiful day today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
everybody.
Take care. Now, we'd like to bring Ruthie. Ruthie, darling, please come and join us. Hi, Ruthie.
Hi, Tony. Hi, everybody.
How are you? You good?
Thank you for having me here.
Well, thanks for coming.
I love it.
You are one of my favorite. We had you on the Mark and Tony show,
I remember.
one of our first shows, and we really were educated in regards to children books and what you do. Okay, Ruthie is an author. She writes children books, and at that time, if I remember, you only had a couple of books.
I had 3.
3. That's right. You remember. And so, what are we doing these days, Ruthie?
We're doing well. I have 8 here. I have the first 3, but we won't do those today. And this, by the way, is for Harper.
Oh, thank you.
My
Oh,
pleasure.
oh, cool.
It's just something that I received in the mail, and I wanted to bring it because I knew she'd like it.
Thank you so much. Harper happens to be our granddaughter, so thank you. We really appreciate
These
that.
are the first
I'll
3.
give it to my wife, Franny. Make sure
The
that
whole
we get it.
story, Miranda and Mrs. Lieber. So after I saw you, Moonbeam she lands in our little boy's backyard.
Moonbeam.
And he asks her about her longhorn. And her answer to him is, it's the way I was born. We're all different.
Yes.
None of us are alike. And the stories they're really about, they're positive messages and they're universal. Because when I started doing this, let me tell you, I never thought that I would have what I have now. This is really, it's a passion for me.
Yeah.
It's my purpose for being here. It's a God-given gift. Whether you're religious or not, it's a God-given gift. And I'm like the conduit
Yes.
for
Okay.
getting the message out.
So let me ask you this. So I know that we went over the first 3 books on the first show, but I still would like to kind of bring those up and show the folks what
Sure.
those 3 books were, right? So the very first book you did was
This one, I said, my thing with that was I was reading over at the Children's Discovery Museum, and I didn't have any book form. I had everything on hard copy. So I had a carton that when I sent to my son for his daughter, he said, "What'd you do? Rob a toy store?" But I just had to use the objects that I found. I said, you know what? All the books for children are letters, numbers, colors, and shapes. I said, there's nothing with holes. I didn't think beyond it. And it's unlike anything else I've done. It's about nothing. Nothing is in everything.
yeah, that's true. Interesting.
And when a lady approached me one day and she said, I want that. I said, you haven't even read it. She said, I'm a mathematician. She saw the value, the math value in it,
Yeah.
which I didn't see.
So this was your first book.
This was the first one that I published. Yes.
Published, yes. The whole story.
The whole story.
Okay. And what was next?
Next was Miranda the Panda.
Miranda the Panda.
And she's in a zoo. She's bored.
Yeah.
When they're in captivity, they spend up to 16 hours, because I've researched these too when I do them. I want them to be credible. You can take artistic license, but they need to be credible
Right.
in my head. And they spend up to 16 hours a day in captivity eating bamboo because they have to rip that outer bark
Wow.
off.
Interesting.
And the teeth are constructed for the ripping. And at any rate, she's bored. She's tired of sleeping. She's tired of eating. She's tired of playing. The gate is left open. She leaves. She goes into town. And the concept, she ends up returning. They're very social animals. She
Panda.
ends up returning. And the reason for it is the concept in my head is people look elsewhere when everything they need is in front of them.
Very interesting. That's why I love having you on the show.
Thank you.
These are really cool. So
Thank you.
that's all about Miranda the Panda
Yeah.
in general. And then I wanted to get caught up on these because it's been a while since you were on our previous show.
Okay.
So then how about this one?
Okay, Zoe wants to change what she looks like. She can't erase her stripes. She can't move them around. She can't find any in the zoo, so she digs a hole and she escapes. Her mother goes to protect her, and she does not know what the answers are. And they come back learning 3 lessons. 3 lessons are learning to accept and appreciate yourself for who you are. We're all a small part of nature's designs, and beauty is from within, and we live in a very judgmental world.
Yep.
I don't have to tell you. If you're not wearing the right shoes or you don't have the right clothes on, somebody said something to me today about talking about somebody that was quite large. She said, I wouldn't be seen with her. And I said, that's mean.
Yeah, no,
That's just mean. But I just didn't even answer it. Sometimes the best answer is no
yeah.
answer.
You know what? I actually experienced it myself growing up. When we moved from, I grew up in Detroit, and when I was 12, we moved to California. And my first day of school, I was dressed different than everybody else because I was wearing the styles that we wore back there. I had kind of high water pants and colored socks, and everybody made fun of me at school that day. My very first day of school, I show up, I want to make friends, and everybody was making fun of me. Fortunately, I happen to be a pretty good athlete. So in PE, we were playing softball, and the first time I went up to bed, I hit a home run. And at that point, everybody forgot about what color socks I was wearing, and everybody wanted me to be on their team. So believe me, I kind of experienced it. I don't know if it would be kind of even referred to like bullying a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm almost 70 years old here, and I still remember that day.
And this person was a grown-up that said this to me. I wouldn't be seen any place. And I said, you know what?
Yeah.
Not me.
So let's talk about Moonbeam again.
Moonbeam.
Yeah.
She, I love her. She's adorable. But I want to see if I can find a picture here with her when she's a baby. And she, here she is. I love
how
this
cute.
one. with a pacifier in her mouth. And this artist that I have, my illustrator, he's just fabulous. He started after my first two. I was able to connect with him, so he's been doing everything ever since. And again, her Longhorn it's the way I was born, and we're all different, not including identical twins. The DNA is not alike.
Well, so in your estimation, and many folks as well, it's very important that children kind of understand this at a young age, right? That's what we're
Well, you know
talking
what? And it's what started out ages 2 to 7 has gone from newborns to 100 because of the concepts. And when you say babies, what does the baby know? The baby loves the color in the book.
Really darn. Very interesting. So next.
My angel watches over me. Okay. Everyone gets an angel when they're born. And this one in particular it's for the have-nots in this order, the have-nots and the haves. The have-nots need it more. That's why I put them first. And I couldn't go back and forth between a he angel and a she angel, so I ended up with it. And when you get to the end is whether your angel is a he or a she. It's as perfect for you as mine is for me.
I got you. Wow. So what do we got next here?
Next one is wonderful. This little girl has an ant farm. And her father comes along one day and he asks her about this. And I said, it's time to have ethnicities. Everybody does not have blue eyes and blonde hair.
Right.
Okay? It's not the world we live in. And they're watching to get to the bottom of the story. How it ends is let's get together and all work as one, because working together helps get the job done. And we need that in this world big time.
Especially right now. No doubt. Very good.
You're surprised I'm remembering all of these.
I'm absolutely amazed. That's why I wanted you to go one by one, because I knew that you were going to be very thorough. So what do we got next?
You know what? I don't even know how I've come up with these. Honest to God,
we're going to talk about that when we're done presenting all the books.
TT Turkey, the turkey that got away. Okay. This is a story for every day. It's not just Thanksgiving. Okay. That's the perception.
Yeah.
But he lives in a turkey farm, and his friends start disappearing. When he gets to, there are 10. When he gets to 9, he thinks one went somewhere to dine. He gets to 8, he thinks one slept too late. And all of a sudden it dawns on his turkey brain, he better get out of here. So he hides in a basket by the side of the road. There's a toad that gives him the go-ahead sign. Starts marching down the road. He meets Mr. Rabbit. Will you play? No, but I'll help if I may. There are 2 of them. Now they see Miss Mouse hanging laundry outside of her house. I don't know his fucking rhyme.
So this particular turkey didn't have to get pardoned by the president. He found his own way.
He found his own way. So now there are 3, and the toad joins in. And to make a long story short, if wishes and dreams can really come true, then peace on earth is their wish for you.
I'd be darned.
And subliminally, it's vegan
Rumors
because
and
they're not
stuff.
going to be anybody's meal.
Very cool. So what do we got here? Last but not least.
Last but not least, this one is the one-stop adopt shop, and it's got all of the animal kingdoms in it. It's got, here, I'll read it to you. Dog, cat, pig, bird, fish, reptile, rodent, spider. And it teaches, as long as I have this in front of me, it eliminates the fear of certain creatures, and it creates love, compassion, responsibility on a child's part.
I'd be darned.
That's what I do.
Very interesting.
My next one is coming out. It got delayed, but it's an Easter story that I started. It's an Easter fantasy story I started 44 years ago.
Well, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Is how did this all come about? I mean, what is your background? What led you to, suddenly start doing this type of work?
It's a God-given gift. I was at home.
Yeah.
Okay, 44 years ago. I was
Okay.
in bed. My girls were sick. They were in bed with me. My son was in school. And I said, you know what? There are no Easter stories. All the Easter stories are about Peter Rabbit.
Yeah.
I'm not one that has to be the only one doing this. This is not. I don't play that game.
Yeah.
And I started writing this, and it was not Mr. Mubble at the time. It starts out, Mr. Mubble, a large light blue bubble, stood in front of the mirror and looked at his double. I can show it to you. I have it on my phone. But in the meantime, what happened, it started out, and because of the way my brain cells work, I thought what I was writing was wonderful. In retrospect, it was horrible. Every time I'd read it to my son, the 5th time, He said, you know what? He said, I keep telling you. He said, it's awful. Throw it out.
Really? Oh, jeez.
And all of a sudden I said, you know what? You're right. I need to revise it. And he became Mr. Mubble, and he wants to win Easter for the people.
Yeah.
And they're now mind you, he's a bubble, so they're going to destroy him. But it can't be a story of destruction. It's got to be redemption. So when you get to the end, they see this tear rolling down his face.
Yeah.
And they realize something has changed. And how it ends is 'twas a brand new beginning for dear Mr. Mubble, who then chose to become a lovable bubble.
I can't. Unbelievable.
I love that
I got to understand something here. This thought process started 44 years ago,
Yes.
and you're just about to write the book now.
The book, that one is coming out
Coming
next.
out.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Wow.
But
So,
go on.
so my question that everybody would like to know, if they want to purchase a book, they want to buy a book,
Out
where do
here, they
go?
can get it from me. They can even get it from me. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Amazon.com. If they get it from me here, Amazon is charging $22.95. I get paid 73 cents. You're not surprised, okay?
Yeah, not surprised. at
I
all.
charge 20 and I sign them.
Well, that's cool. And how can they get a hold of you? Is it Ruthie?
They
Ruthie
can get to
Darling?
me. Yeah, they can private message me, or
On
they
your
can get on
Facebook?
on Facebook. Yeah,
So-
I've done that too.
So, folks, if you want to contact Ruthie, just look her up on Facebook, Ruthie Darling, right?
Yeah.
And they can message you, and they can purchase a book from you,
Yeah,
or meet you somewhere, and you'll
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
bring it and autograph
Yeah.
for them. Wow. You know, I'm telling you, I'm amazed how you remembered everything, every verse, all these verses, all the rhymes, everything every book has got kind of a unique story.
Well, but I have to tell you, my motto in each book is, and this sentence took me over 9 years from start to finish,
Yeah.
empowering children and adults through the wonderful world of children's literature. So for me, it's like pay it forward.
Yep.
That's what I do.
You see, that's one of the things that reason why I want to do this podcast and some of the other things that we do here in the desert is we're such a melting pot of interesting people and people that have been in interesting places. They've moved here and they're doing great work. Okay. Offering their abilities like yourself to the general public. And we really appreciate that.
I really appreciate coming on. You know what? Again, this is like I thrive on this.
I could tell. And I'll tell you one thing. I knew normally we would have like 3 guests, but I said, no, 2 guests today because I know Ruthie's going to take over the floor, man. No, it was great. Listen, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
on.
much.
And maybe in the future we'll have you back on again
Oh, I
when
love it.
you get another book or 2 coming out.
Let me tell you, the next one that's being worked on now is Percy, the penguin who wouldn't swim.
Okay.
And the concept is
Percy.
he will not jump in the water because he doesn't know what's down below. And the message in there is no one alive is without a fear.
Yeah, true. Well, here again, folks, like I was saying, what a gift for all of us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Ruthie.
Thanks.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Wow, that was great. Thank you, Ruthie.
Thank you. Next is all yours.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to sit back as much as I could.
Thank you.
All right, Karen, have a seat. So I move back a little bit. Okay, so you kind of got an idea how it goes. It's real relaxed. Okay.
But I can't talk that fast.
You talk to that whatever pace you want. Okay. I'll ask you when we get going. Okay, are we still live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, look at it. I want to introduce Karen Barone.
Correct.
How about that?
I love that
You
you're
know-
saying it right.
Oh, yeah, look, I'm Italian. If I can't get that right, I might as well give it up.
Okay.
Karen is an artist, and to be quite honest, this is the first time that we actually have met.
True.
When I heard you were going to be on our show, I did a little homework, and I kind of learned a little bit about you. I've seen you around town.
Good.
You can't be missed, to be honest with you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story and
Right.
where it all began for you?
It began many years ago when I met my husband, Tony Barone, who, of course, is my partner in crime.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah, I knew you'd enjoy that. Especially Tony in this valley is a very prevalent name. And Barone, of course, means barren. So we
Right.
love carrying that
Barone.
attitude with us. And the two of us just jived. Everything about us was creative, and it's unusual when two people can gel quite the way that we did. And both of us are opinionated, and we put A columns and B columns and make decisions that one of us will take over in some area and he in another. But what the results are, I like to think of as very entertaining, easy to understand, high color, play with everybody out there, take their imaginations and send them skyrocketing.
So how long have you two been together?
We never say, because then you would put a passion on our relationship.
How interesting is that? See, that's what I love about this show. You know, I learned different things on how people roll and how they conduct their life. So I've seen some of your work.
Good.
Uh, how does it all come together? For example, I saw, I believe it was a red um, high-heeled shoe.
Stiletto.
Stiletto. Yes, thank you. So how do you have a studio? You actually do this out here, or how does that all come together?
We have a studio, but we have drawing boards. We have a lot of land that we can
Yeah.
exhibit our sculptures on. And the shoe was something that the two of us had wanted to do for a period of time. But sometimes, everything gets in the way.
Yeah.
Well, when we finally came about doing it, one of the inspirations was the two of us used to go to the Field Museum in Chicago, which is where we were both born and raised. And the Field Museum had a lot of skeletal finds from dinosaurs of the past.
I'll be there.
So when we chose to do the red stiletto, we chose red because it's such a dynamic color.
Jumps out.
It definitely captures your attention. And as far as wanting to make it different, we thought about those days of those skeletal dinosaurs and trying to bring some of that function, that familiarity, that bone structure into what we were doing.
I'll be darned.
And one of the places that was a dream come true for us was to have it placed at the Taubman Mall, the Gardens on El Paseo.
Right.
What a location. We are between Louis Vuitton and Tiffany and Company with Saks Fifth Avenue in the background. There are 10 shoe stores in that mall.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a better place to be.
So that's where the stiletto is.
That's where the stiletto is. However, we have many other pieces of art that capture the attention of so many of our locals here,
Yes.
as well as people that enter the valley. We have 9 rabbits right at 111 in El Paseo.
Right. Seen those.
And those rabbits have been there for the last 4 years. And no matter what day it is, somehow or other, within a week's period, I get a number of emails saying, "Oh my God, I passed the rabbits. I go to work and I see them going on the way back. They're there for me again. And they're one of the highlights of my day." Well, that's like the best thing anybody could possibly say. I mean, it really is very rewarding.
To admire your work and to
Yes.
comment on it, to see it.
Yes.
And you brighten someone's day.
We
bottom
do,
line,
and
yeah.
we do, and that's very rewarding. The other thing, like animal crackers. Now, animal crackers is in a very unusual setting. It's where the Shark House used to be,
Yes.
and that property has a very close mountain
Yes,
right behind it. Are you
Totally familiar.
with
Yes.
that?
I've seen it. Yep.
Good. And of course, there's a jaguar and a cherry vanilla gorilla, and they're very large scale. And it's like they own that terrain.
Yes. Very
And
cool.
Thank you. And then another little thing that we love to do, we love to be supportive of charities here in our valley.
Important.
And what's so wonderful is that there are so many giving souls here. There really are. And one of the locations that was important to us was Desert Art. which is on Country Club right by Sherman's Deli.
Yeah.
And they were set back. So they weren't really getting recognition or people knowing how to find them to help be supportive of what they do,
Right.
which is to help mentally challenged adults.
Yes, I actually have been there.
Good,
Yes.
good. So what we decided that we wanted to do, Tony and I, was donate 5 figures, and one of them is holding a heart up above its head, and it's called Joined at the Heart.
And it's right there in front.
And it's right there in
I'm
front.
gonna have to drive on my way home tonight.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
check it out.
And it's really given them so much attention, so much more than they could have
That's awesome.
anticipated. And in essence, they were not allowed to do signage. So this was a way of signage within an area of art that
Draw attention.
communicated to everybody that drove by.
So, putting all these together. Now, I can't
Yes.
imagine you carrying these big pieces of art. Okay.
No,
So, how does that all come together?
well, we think of them, we conceive them. Tony's masterful at drawing. Both of us are fortunate to be able to see in 3D, which we do. So they're all there for us.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is get it on paper and communicate it.
I see.
We travel to a small enough radius so that our dollars in producing our work are affecting our community, which is very important
Yes.
to us. So we go to a very large facility about 75 miles away. And we go there and we tell them how to form it, where to break it, what we see. And it's very entertaining for them and for us because we're the only artists that they work with.
I see.
And they do bridges, they do underground water sewerage things. So when we go there, it's kind of like one of the things I said to them one day, berets and capes for everyone, because they really put their hearts and souls into it, and they're so excited to share it with their family and their relatives and friends.
Wonderful. This is awesome. So now when I'm driving around town,
Yes.
I've seen some of your work, but now I know who did the work.
Good.
And I think I'm going to be able to get more involved in noticing, and checking them all out. Let me ask you this: being here in the desert,
Mhm.
weather takes its toll on some of these things. Is there some sort of maintenance program that you do?
Yes, but it's very simple. We all own cars.
Yes.
Okay. We use automotive paint on our sculptures.
Uh-huh.
Nothing withstands the elements quite like automotive paint.
Automotive paint.
And if you wash them with just water, and then you take McGuire's wax and you wax them twice a year, ta-da,
They're good, huh?
They're
so
good.
you have someone that does that for you?
I do, fortunately. I have a right-hand person who just kind of like knows how to maintain
Exactly.
them, puts his own loving touch on them when he cleans them.
So let me ask you this, Karen. If someone would like to get a hold of you and they would like for you to do some work for them,
Yes.
or just get to know you, how can they reach out to you?
Well, baroneart.com,
BaroneArt.com.
Barone Studio on Facebook,
Barone Studio on Facebook.
and Karen and Tony Barone on Instagram. And I also do a whole series of video artwork that are 20 to 59 seconds every Saturday at 8 a.m. And they're about absolutely nothing but entertaining you.
And how can we watch this?
Karen Barone style on Instagram.
There you go. You heard it, folks.
You heard it.
So I have to ask you just one thing, because I'm really new to all this.
Okay.
So when they do this, I can't remember what it's things like desert art or something, where someone will build a sculpture out in the middle of the desert, like off the highway or something.
Yes.
You guys do that type of thing as well? Do you know these folks?
Well, a lot of that is different elements that are involved with New York
I see.
in Southern California called Desert X. Tony and I are Desert Extra.
Ah, I see. How cool is that? Well, where's Tony, by the way? Where's
Oh,
Tony?
he's in the room.
Is
He
he in-
loves just sitting here listening.
Yeah, Tony,
Yeah.
you want to come over here for a minute? Just say hello to the folks. We're talking about Tony a lot. I'd like everybody to see who you are.
Thank you for doing that.
Come on
'cause
over.
He said to me, "Oh, I'll just stay in the background."
No, he's going to
today."
come over here for a minute.
But
Put
he's
our best foot
he's-
forward.
Come on over.
When you have a partner like Karen. you
There
don't-
he is.
you don't
There's
need
Tony.
to- You don't need to do anything.
Another Italian stallion over here.
That's right.
Well, listen, I want to thank both of you for taking your time to come out
Absolutely.
and explain. This is one of the things I constantly talk about on all our podcasts. What a blessing it is to have all these wonderful people, artistic, all different people that come from all over the country, Chicago, Detroit,
Yeah.
New York. I mean, we have a melting pot of a great group of people. In fact, I just had my sister-in-law here who came out for a few days. She goes, we brought her around a little bit, showed her around. She goes, you know what? This is unbelievable. She's never seen, El Paseo before. I mean, we brought her some restaurants, heard some of the live entertainment. I mean, we're so blessed. And
We are. Can I
yeah.
also bring up one
Sure.
other thing? On our baroneart.com, you can find a link to a tour throughout the valley of all of our work.
that would be great. In fact, I was going to ask you that question
Yes.
because as I'm driving home tonight, I'm going to check out the work over there on Country Club.
Right?
But that would be cool because I like to take that tour.
How
You-
many pieces are on that tour?
36 at like 29 locations.
And
You
and
won't
who-
be
and
disappointed.
Who did that?
We have a filmmaker friend who's doing a documentary, he and his wife, on Tony and I. And during COVID, it was his genius idea. Here in Tony, nobody can go and see anything. They can't go to museums. They don't want to have art taken away from them during this period. Why don't we do something as bold as setting up a tour?
That's cool. Great idea.
That's good.
Tony,
Salute.
my pleasure. Salute a tu. Ciao, la conoscenza, eh? Hey, thank you so much for being on our show today. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for the Tony Pomps podcast. Thank you to our guests today, and we'll see you again.
Yay!
That was great.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
That was
It
fun.
a pleasure.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.